Hello everybody, welcome to another weekly episode here at the YYC Real Estate Show. It is June 8th. Excited to have two guests today, Kenny and Blair. Excited to get to know them after our usual weekly update, as you know. So I'm one of your three hosts, Sheraz. I have Sebastian and Zach with me. And this week we'll let Zach take away the weekly stats for you guys.
Yeah, here it is. So how many active listings do you think there is this week? How many active listings, Sheraz?
2,000.
2,100.
I guess 2,400. And there's 2,403, so I won.
Because you're looking at them.
There we go. The total sales this week were 726. Out of those 726, 367 were detached, 61 attached, 121 townhouses, 175 condos, 2 full duplexes, which is up 2 from last week because there's 0 last week. The total active listings is 2,403, like I mentioned. Total pending listings this week is 911. The highest sale, it was $6,450,000, but the Realtor made a typo and added an extra 0, so it was actually $645,000. So that wasn't the highest sale. Yeah, I know, what a typo, eh? That would have been a big difference. The actual highest sale was at Elbow Park on the market for 13 days. It sold at $2,645,000. It was a 5-bed, 5-bath, 3,200 square feet on a 62.5 by 125 foot lot. So big lot, obviously big house, probably a beauty there. The second one was 2.5 million Sundance. This one was cool. 0 days on the market and sold for higher than the list price. And it's a 6-bed, 6-bath. The lowest sales were $173,000 apartment in Bankview, and the second was $180,000 apartment in Sonalta.
Big jumps from last week. Last week,
Yes.
The lowest sales were just over 100,000.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. There was one of my listings in one of the buildings in Dalhousie. One sold for 174, so that was close to the lowest. But May was the highest selling month ever. January to April had the sales were 2% lower than last year. Apartments sold 36% more than last year this May. Calgary should be seeing this activity continue for the rest of summer. Stay tuned here every week to hear the update on this episode.
Highest month ever?
Compared to last year, there's a 2% increase, so we're basing it on last year. And we're having technical difficulty problems, but you guys know where the show is.
No issue, just someone's taken over our screen by accident.
Yes. 557,000 is the new benchmark price now in Calgary. I think last week it was a bit lower.
No, that is the benchmark now.
Wasn't it updated last week though?
No, that's the benchmark price.
Okay.
And I want to talk about the new inventory, right? We're at 2,400. Last week we were at what, 2,200?
23, wasn't it?
Yeah, so inventory is slowly going up every week.
For active listings, last week was 2,339. This week it's 2,403.
Yeah, so inventory is going up, and if inventory keeps on going up, prices should balance off a little bit. We won't be seeing such an aggressive market. So hopefully that happens for buyers, right?
Yeah,
it's about time. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, and I want to talk about interest rates, right? The Bank of Canada decided to go up on interest rates 25 basis points to a key interest rate of 4.75%, right? And it hasn't been this high since 2001, right? And it's important to note why the Bank of Canada does increase interest rates, right? It's because we are in a very quickly growing market, and that causes inflation, right? The Bank of Canada wants inflation to be at 2%, and right now we're at 4.4%. So hopefully the increased interest rates control the inflation, right? But the question is, are they going to have to keep on raising it to bring that number back down? Yeah. But on some good news, the Krebs and Realtor Community Foundations have awarded $1 million grant to the Ronald McDonald House Charities in Alberta. And what that will do is that they'll create 60 units for their foundation, for their charity. And what the Ronald McDonald House does is they actually provide housing for seriously injured and sick kids.
Yeah.
Right? And that housing is for people or families on the move that need to move for treatment. Right? So it's a pretty cool foundation,
good
right?
And that was Krebs with who?
Krebs and Realtor, those two brands donated $1 million, or gave them a grant of $1 million for this foundation, which is fantastic. And if you want to, and it's a great cause, so if anybody wants to donate, you can either volunteer to the Ronald McDonald House or donate, So go right on the website to check out the options.
That's very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
There we go.
We're back.
Back, baby.
So I don't know if anyone was aware about the Calgary City Council and their decision against affordability and what they were going to do about the affordability crisis. So they've reconsidered that and they're putting it for another vote. So late Wednesday afternoon, the city issued a release amending its decision to reject 6 main recommendations over concerns about zoning and clarity surrounding these proposed solutions for affordability. So a 7-8 vote decided to end that task force. So hopefully there will be some help for the residences here in YYC for affordability, and we'll see what the city can do to help. And touching more on YYC in the city here and what's happening this weekend, if you're going to 17th Ave, just remember that between 2nd and 4th Street, they are shutting it down for sanitary services starting today. And it will be a full road closure and will be in place while the work's underway. But all businesses, residents will remain accessible for local traffic via 4th Street Southwest. And the roadway and south sidewalk of 17th Ave will be closed, so everyone will have to use the north side of 17th Ave just for this weekend.
It'll be busy.
Can I ask something about the affordability thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the prices are obviously going quite high, skyrocketing. People are having trouble acquiring a home. And so what are they trying to get the city to do? Like what
What they've announced is like some financial incentives
Yeah.
to drive the production, for example, of allowing secondary suites
Yeah.
to help owners.
Yeah.
So kind of making it easier in
My
that
dad's
sense.
doing that. In
Yeah.
his basement, he turned it into
A suite.
little suites, yeah.
So they're relaxing those rules
Yeah.
and helping homeowners try to offset the increasing costs.
Okay, so making it easier for people to
Yeah, so that's one of the
Spend
ideas,
more.
and then also some financial incentive programs. So things like, home buyer incentives, first time home buyer
Yeah,
packages,
yeah.
things like that.
And also like they have also like Government Canada offers things like converting office units into residential units as well.
Yeah.
So they're trying to create more.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're trying to create more
I
units.
did see that. Yeah, that's neat.
That would be a
There's
really
lot of
cool thing
vacant
to get
big office
involved
buildings.
with.
Yeah.
But it's also there's only so much a city can do as well.
Right.
Right, because that's one reason that they control interest rates is to slow down people from buying homes.
Right.
That's why it's getting more and more expensive because it's just everybody's like, oh, there's no homes, let's just buy what we can, and people just keep on buying.
So they're
right?
trying to stop it by putting the interest rates
Yeah,
up.
so because they higher
Stop it,
interest
slow it
rates,
down.
less people can afford
Yeah.
what they wanted, right?
And
So-
one plan and initiative they did, which I disagreed with, is they implemented a 2-year foreign ban, no
Should've-
foreign buyer.
Should have been out of province ban
Exactly.
instead. Should have been
To-
Ontario and BC.
Yeah,
'cause
'cause they're the ones
they're the ones that are buying up everything.
Exactly. So it shouldn't, in my opinion, it shouldn't have been a foreign ban to
I agree.
outside Canada. It should have been maybe a 2-year halt or a 1-year halt on
Eventual.
out of province
Yeah.
to try to stabilize things.
100%.
I mean, I can say that, and however, we all reap the benefits of what happened as real estate agents.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
all very busy.
Of course.
But
the no foreign buyer ban, it might like take a hit on the market in like short term, but the point of it was to help stabilize Canada's housing market because so many foreign buyers are coming and just buying everything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which is like kind of save the homes for Canadians, right? It's kind of like that's kind of their thought on that, right? So it's kind of like in the short term it might have a negative effect on the market, but in the long term hopefully it'll help affordability.
To qualify as a foreign buyer, you have to have an address and permanently live outside of the country. Correct.
It's just not Canadian, I imagine. But they did amend that. Now, if you even have a work visa and it's not going to expire soon, you could still buy a home.
Well,
Yeah, so they did amend it. They did make it more specific. Before it was just like no foreign buyers. You needed at least a permanent resident status. But now,
so if that work visa expires, what happens?
so if your visa is going to expire in a month, they're not going to be like, hey, you buy a home.
Yeah, no,
But they want to see that you will have
Okay.
maybe we'll say like a year, right, on your work visa left.
Show that you'll be here for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you have to sell it before it
No, I don't
expires?
think
or-
you wouldn't have to sell it. No.
Okay.
Because what was the issue in like Vancouver? All the foreign buyers were buying all these properties and condos, and then they were just left empty. Right? Like nobody was occupying them.
Exactly. That's why they did like a special thing where they were like, if you have any empty units, they're gonna tax the hell out of you, right?
yeah, there's additional taxes many additional taxes in Ontario and BC that we don't have here in Alberta. That aside, that's a new one to offset having vacant properties and to kind of charge the landlords so that they're not left vacant.
Yeah.
But there's also additional things like something small, like each deal has an extra land transfer tax in those provinces, and we don't have that.
Interesting.
We don't have an assignment clauses or rules. I can purchase a property and have possession 30 days away, and I can sell it from now until then and assign it to somebody else. So that's, for investors, is really attractive to come here.
Yeah.
So to kind of quickly recap, we are all still from last week in a strong seller's market. The numbers are almost identical from last week to this week, except a small increase in active listings.
Small increase though.
Yeah.
75.
And just a few more, topics just about YYC that I wanted to mention is the Calgary Transit is aiming to provide a train or bus every 10 minutes, 15 hours per day, 7 days a week on all the primary transit networks. C-Trains, Max Line buses, and buses along major routes. So that's something they've announced.
What was it before? How long would it take before? Was it every 20 minutes?
To be honest, I'm sorry, I don't know. Never had.
Fortunately,
never
I
had to
think
take
like
the
15
bus.
to 20, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, there's sometimes even, like 15, 20, like some of the C-Train lines.
Yeah.
Like it's like 20 minutes.
So now it's
between
going to
a
be
train
10.
That's
every 10
excellent.
minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
Well,
now
because
it's gonna be
that
every
new
10
line is coming
Needed.
in too, so that'll help out there.
They're doubling up.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's quite an investment.
Yeah. No
And
kidding.
then the last thing I wanted to mention, which I'm sure a lot of people that go downtown quite a bit were hoping for, but finally, Calgary's going to transform Olympic Plaza. The City of Calgary is moving forward on plans to facelift Olympic Plaza under the same umbrella as other revitalization projects in the area. So
Nice.
Olympic Plaza upgrades are being bundled together with Arts Commons and improvements to Stephen Avenue. And to serve as development manager for all three projects, CMLC is going to take over this. And there's actually going to be $40 million, which is already included in the $108 million the City Council's already marked for downtown strategy over the next 3 years.
Oh, nice.
So by 2024, those three projects, Stephen Ave,
Nice.
Olympic Plaza, and Arts Commons, they're all going to get a big.
It's good. Invest in our city.
Calgary's
I like
only
that.
getting better.
Yeah, I like that. Nice.
So now with that quick recap out of the way, let's meet our guests.
The boys.
So introduce yourselves and tell everybody who you are. And
So I'll go first. My name's Blair Ellistead. I know nothing about real estate.
And you like
My
juice.
background was
And
that
you like juice.
juice. Yeah, little juice. I've had a juice bar on the corner on First Street. Very nice. My background is I'm in commercial video productions. I do like editing, color correction, that type of thing. I've also spent some time as a director of photography and cinematographer for commercial projects all over the world. I've had a wedding and event photography company that I ran for probably 15 years out of Toronto. We used to do like 70 to 80 events annually.
Wow.
It was intense.
Yeah.
And I'm probably one of the top 5 basketball players in Calgary, recreational.
Wow.
I believe it.
The guy's like 6'9".
I was like, that's a joke, by the way. I was hoping that you guys would laugh. It'd be really weird if you were just
No,
like,
that was very good. UFC dinos and Kenny, yourself?
Kenny Steeves. I don't know. I'm on the team with these guys, the Green Group. New Realtor. I've been the past 5 years. Kind of before that, I was doing real estate photos, measurements, virtual tours, and such. Before then, I was in construction, home renos, a little bit of general contracting, drafting, kind of stuff. So.
Involved in real estate all those times.
Yeah, I've been around real estate for a while. Finally got my license.
Nice.
Have you always been here in
Congrats.
Calgary?
Yeah, born and raised here in Calgary. So Blair and I actually go way back. We went to high school and played ball together in high school.
same
and
team, same high school, yeah.
Yeah.
Good days.
Go Phoenix.
Springbank?
Springbank Phoenix.
No way, really?
Yeah.
It's like 10 minutes away from Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we're trying to rekindle that fire.
Yeah, play ball a little bit again.
20 years older.
Yeah. a little slower.
Yeah. How you like living here? You've been here. Obviously, with what you mentioned, have you had to travel a lot and spend many years outside YYC?
Yeah, so I left Calgary when I was about, I would say like 19. I was in the military, it's another thing, for 2 years. I was in Halifax, but with my work career, I traveled, I would do a lot of weddings and events in Europe, Italy, Spain, China, Japan, all over the place. I got in at a time when cinematic event films were just starting to become a thing. And so, like, if you would upload one and a lot of people would, watch it, they would pass it around, and it felt like it was pretty easy to, pick up work all over the place. Like, people were very excited about it. This is, like, 17 years ago when, like, cameras, like, really high, like, good quality cameras were becoming affordable.
Yeah.
So you could just go to a Vistec or a Best Buy and purchase a DSLR, and you could just film anything, and it would have that like shallow depth of field and look really cinematic. So that changed the whole game, and I coincidentally got in right when that was happening, and I don't know, maybe I just got lucky and had decent enough work, but I found myself working everywhere. It's crazy, shooting weddings in Japanese temples.
Wow.
It's insane.
So, what was the most memorable one?
Well, I shot the wedding for one of the creators of MySpace.
Oh,
and,
wow.
He was married to, I didn't know what to say this. he got Yeah. He got married to this, I don't know what to say this, it's crazy. Anyways, his bride was a little bit, off the rails. Maybe I feel weird about saying this now. Let's say it. The bride was crazy. The family was insane. They were talking about having to smuggle in the father-in-law from Colombia, because he was like a diamond smuggler, so they had to like smuggle him in. Everybody was mad at each other. I was so excited about doing the best film ever that I had like an audio person with a boom pole like going around, and the audio and video that we were capturing was just fights. Like, I fucking hate you. This is the worst thing. Why are we getting married? Like fighting. And then the bride would grab me and be like, "Get my pills. You know where the pill." Like, just the Japanese. I'm the camera guy. Which is bizarre, because a normal day capturing a wedding, people are talking about love. And I can't believe this is happening.
This is death and murder.
Yeah, this was death and murder and diamond smuggling.
Yeah, diamonds.
If you guys hear this, you know who you are. I love you. It's a great time.
That was the most memorable one then.
Yeah.
I would be canceled so fast if I had a show.
You're good.
Like the first segment.
You're
We're
good.
gonna bleep that whole 2 minute out.
Have you always, like I bounced around Northwest Calgary, Zach, you were Southwest, like same area always?
So to reside.
South
Yeah.
represents.
So- How was
Southwest.
your-
Yeah, Southwest always. Strathcona.
That's where that's West
Yeah.
Springs and Cougar Ridge where I live.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, right by.
The hill, they call it the hill.
And interestingly enough, I thought I knew the city quite well, but I just know the Southwest. And so now I'm getting like that's all I know. And so now, like, I have 2 kids and I take them over to the zoo, and like those neighborhoods and like those areas, I don't know them. Like, I don't know the streets.
Yeah.
But I'm using my maps, to get around. And the city's changed a lot in 20 years. It really has. Like, I feel like it's doubled in size, population. I feel like the creative community is really starting to like develop and blossom.
Yeah.
Good word for someone who's sitting here drinking a pink juice. I don't know. I'm excited to be back in Calgary.
Good.
Really am.
How long have you been back?
Since March.
Since March?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
welcome back.
just reintegrating.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Are you gonna be doing the same business?
same stuff. Yeah. Like right now, I'm just working on a commercial for a hotel in the Maldives. And just some random stuff. I'm freelancing, so every week I'm doing something new.
That's awesome.
And whenever that project wraps, I'm desperately trying to find the next one. Calgary's market with creative production is a little bit smaller than Toronto, obviously, but I'm finding that it is growing and developing a lot, and there is a very strong sense of community behind it, which I didn't see in Toronto, whereby everyone kind of wants to develop the Calgary community. It's not about the individual, it's about like, let's get all of us in this together and let's grow it together and make it like one big awesome family of creative people. Maybe that's kind of like a small mentality in what is no longer a small town, but it's still there, and I think it's a powerful thing that will drive a lot of success in that field.
Nice.
People always talk about that, Calgary. It's a big city, but it still always has that small town.
Yeah.
Small town feel.
You're still gonna run into people from
Yeah.
all over.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, we've had other guests say the exact same thing on the show. It's just kind of like this is.
It's big but
Yeah.
big but small.
Yeah, big
for
and
sure.
small. You're technically a freelancer, right?
Yeah.
Which is
For now.
Yeah, for now. So do you
Call him his numbers.
We should offer him a contract on the YYC Real Estate Show. On commercials.
Yeah, commercial for
Boys are
YYC
so
Real
big.
Estate Show.
I'm surprised you don't do more with real estate. You have mentioned some commercial real
Yeah.
estate, like you're doing the Maldives. That's a commercial
Yeah.
hotel, right?
Yeah.
So
There's
I'm sure there's
Joali
lots.
Bean.
Okay.
Joali Bean. It's a cool, beautiful hotel.
Yeah, Maldives.
That I wish I could afford to stay at.
Did you go
Tell them to give you a
free week?
Yeah.
Well,
I gotta
the thing
go
is,
there and stuff.
I don't get the job from the hotel. I get the job from the agency that's hired to do the hotel.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's one part of it.
Yeah.
But real estate, I never was excited. And I shouldn't say that I wouldn't do this, but I was never really drawn into the type of production where I would show up in a house and walk around it and fill the rooms.
I think we do.
I think it's a very important thing, especially when you have to make a sale, and there are people that are very good at that. I don't think I'm that good at it. It's a different type of lighting and just a different type of thought process. And I don't know, maybe it's something that I should look into.
Yeah, that's why I ask. There's a big market here, and as more and more of these new builds in the multi-million-dollar price point, they're always looking for nice video content of their
100%.
listings,
Yeah.
right? And not even that. I mean, there's a lot of new commercial projects going up,
Absolutely.
so they're all going to need marketing as well.
It's a great way to make money too for people getting into videography, that type of thing.
Yeah.
It really is.
As realtors, what would you suggest is a better way for us, or a good way for us to kind of connect with our audience or share our story? Do you have any tips for how we should be presenting ourselves?
Yep.
Capture the you want to show the lifestyle, the feeling of what it's going to be like to live there in that area, the type of people that you're going to be around, not how nice the room is, because pretty much every house that you're going to be looking at, that it's captured and edited and made to look super bright and high end or whatever, it's all kind of the same at the end of the day. But the feeling that you can instill through the work and make somebody feel like that might be a lifestyle that they could see themselves, living in or wanting to be a part of.
What an evening walk looks like in that neighborhood.
Yeah, or just what it
Kids
feels.
playing in the backyard.
Yeah, it's family oriented. What's the nightlife like? What about recreation?
Yeah.
What type of person lives there?
Good tip.
Yeah, that is a good tip. So it's not everything about the house, right?
Yeah.
So it's Oh, that is a good tip.
Showcase the area and community as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of agents or videos that I see are really doing that. It's always just about the property, right?
Yeah.
There might be a small snippet of shopping close by and it'll show you one.
Which you have to do. You still have to
Yeah.
show the product.
Yeah.
But I think most companies with their marketing, they get it wrong by just showing who they are and what they do instead of why.
Yeah.
But why is how you connect on the emotional. That's how you make the sale.
Yeah.
This guy, I know what he's going to be doing.
No kidding.
He's coming over to the green group.
Yeah. So, Kenny, I have a question. Yeah, that's true. I have a question, Kenny.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you work for List Simple, it was?
Yep.
So, for anybody that doesn't know, they do photos and measurements for real estate listings when they're going live. So, Kenny would have been doing that. When you walk into a house now as an agent or show someone around a house, do you look at it differently? Do you think you would have if you didn't have the measurement and the photo experience that you did with List Simple?
I think, my mind's always going to like the best place for pictures. And so like I walk into a house and I'm like, oh yeah, I'd set my camera up here, or whatever. I think actually the biggest difference is when I'm looking at a property online.
Yeah.
I can go, that's a horrible photo, but that property's not actually that bad.
That's an advantage.
So it's like, this one isn't gonna get traffic because these are horrible photos. But I think we should go see it because you can see that it's just a cell phone picture by someone who doesn't know what to do. They just take their phone, they'll put it like, I hate these angles. They'll put it way up, like looking down. And so you miss like parts of the room, or the edit, like it's really dark and one side bright here. Like they've gone out and bought the Best Buy the nice, DSLR camera. And they've put a flash on it, but they've got a flash that like just goes straight to the ceiling and it doesn't bounce anywhere. So it's like really bright.
Very particular, the lighting.
It's
it's hard.
It's hard.
And so if you don't know what you're doing, but it actually makes the pictures worse.
Yes.
Cell phones are amazing if you know, like you can take professional quality pictures on a cell phone, if you know what you're doing. But so I actually notice it more on on like looking online photos.
That makes sense.
Little things like the pictures, the RMS square footage, knowing the ins and outs of like what's counted, what's not counted, and how that all works. It's interesting too because you can.
We've touched on that on another episode, but probably 4 episodes ago. I had a client, a listing. We got the RMS measurement back, and they were not happy about what their measurement was. It was a lot less, but I mean, our RMS came into the residential measure standard. For anybody who doesn't know, it came in 2016. So any house that was measured before that, and this was a show home, so the builder measured it. So
it's even worse.
They boost that. So when you get your measurement back at 80 square feet less than your original report. But like I explained, and it ended up working out. But I'm not the measurer. I trust the company. But RMS is always going to be smaller than the original measurement is usually.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, because it shrinks it because it doesn't include wall thicknesses. If there's a bay window, it doesn't include that.
Yeah.
Kind of open area, so it will always shave your square footage from anywhere from 20 to 200 square feet.
So it's like it's focused on livable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I would want.
And
buyer, right?
Yeah.
Depending on the kind of property too, right? Like an attached, anything that's attached is only inside of the walls.
Right.
Like wall to wall, paint to paint is what you say.
Right.
Detached, and I think that the reason they made that decision is commonly on an attached property, you're only liable for and responsible insurance and everything for inside paint to paint, and outside of that is common area, so it's not really your space. Versus a detached property, everything in the walls is still yours.
Interesting.
If there's a plumbing break in the wall or something, you're responsible for that as the homeowner. But that's the thing that gets people is quite often condo plans when you're looking at the condo size on the registered condo size includes at least half of that wall versus RMS we can't. So if you're going around a property that's 20 feet by 20 feet, so you're I don't know what's that 80 feet and you're 6.5 inches, you're 40 square feet right there. The difference.
Wow.
That's one thing that gets people all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that slang, like squee?
No, I just misspoke.
No, I'm just kidding.
Way to point it out, make it super obvious. It's my first time on a podcast.
Blair, I heard. I don't know if it's true, but do you have a famous sibling?
My sister. I guess she's still famous. She is a pop musician. In 2015, she won 3 Junos, I think.
Nice.
I actually won one as well, which is weird.
Oh, nice.
What'd you win?
Just counted it
That was the time to include it, right? I won it for shooting a music video.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kaisa Hideaway, if you've ever seen that.
Wow,
you shot that video?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
My kids love that.
I've seen that many times.
Amazing. Yeah, that's exciting.
It looks like just one shot from start to...
Yeah.
One shot with the
Yeah, I shot that in Brooklyn. It was
Okay.
47 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
I thought I was going to die. And if the part about that shoot is after we finished the music video, there's no money either. I made no money on that. Nobody made any money.
Wow.
She was unknown at that time. Excuse me. I remember taking the footage back to the hotel room, looking at it, and I was like, whatever. It's decent. And now it has over 700 million views.
Yeah.
Collectively with 2 links.
Yeah.
Which I really wish were posted on my channel.
You made that video.
That's pretty sweet, dude. I've seen it.
Yeah. So
How many takes did that take?
the one that we used is take 2.
Oh,
That's
wow.
awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because it got progressively worse because we started filming at like 6 p.m. because all the dancers worked
Yeah.
during the day and they wanted to come do that for free. And so the sun was going down, and so take 3 and 4 were like in total darkness, and it started raining. So we're like, fuck, we gotta use take 2.
I remember at the beginning there's like a crowd of guys that form and wondering what's going on.
Yeah, that
And
was
then come up to
that
the
was
car
real.
after.
That was real. Just a random group.
Yeah.
What was happening here?
Wow.
Yeah, then I had to like blur out faces. There were license plates that I had to blur out.
No, my kids love that song. Like
Yeah, I've
Your
heard
kids?
Yeah.
The other
I've
day
heard
I
that song
threw it on.
lots.
Yeah, so and she was big in Europe, like huge over in Europe, in like Eastern Europe. And so I would shoot weddings in Italy when I still had my business, and I would go to like a little Italian pub after the wedding, be like, I want to, have a little caprese salad, and chill with the beer, and then suddenly the TV would come on and the video would be blasting, and I'd be sitting in Italy, like listening to this music video, and just like being like, I shot that.
That must feel kind of surreal.
It was weird. It was a weird time.
Yeah.
surreal. Right?
And because of that, I shot the first 4 or 5 music videos for Shawn Mendes.
Whoa.
This keeps getting better and better. This guy's like,
You find out it's all fake.
His Olympic gold. He's like,
Yeah, I started sprinting,
doing once.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, it was like a weird time. But Kaisa has had a great career. She's like toured with Diplo, Skrillex. She did a song with Duran Duran. What are some other names? Lots of people.
Awesome.
She's cool. She'd be fun to have on the podcast.
And sorry, who's your sister then?
Kaisa.
Oh, that's your sister.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed. Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I thought you shot the video as a different person than one. Okay. Wow, that is insane.
Shawn Mendes is my sister.
wow. That's awesome. So obviously you're both then. It's just you two siblings?
I have a younger brother as well, who's also a singer. He's got a band.
So music in your family growing up?
Yeah, lots of music.
Lots of creatives.
Yeah, my mom was really into Michael Jackson,
Oh,
and she
I
used
like
to
it
line
already.
us up and make us sing. I wonder if it was a good
You
song.
take the video. You can't say take the video.
I was very shy as a kid, so I was like, I can't do this. I'm gonna hide behind the equipment.
Everyone plays their part. That's
Yeah.
It worked out.
That's awesome.
Blair's always been into. We used to
Always
make
been-
videos
yeah.
in high school, like the basketball team.
Did we ever make one?
We made a bunch.
I can't remember.
Yeah, well, but it's
Well, on
PG
the
here.
road trips and
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
We should get the
or we'd have like some crappy
Yeah.
camcorder. And I remember one. You and Brody, you and Shrek
Oh no!
would go. We were in the mall downtown Edmonton, and we were up on like the level above, and you guys got a bunch of water from the.
Oh my god! I remember this.
You just, I don't know who was holding it. One of you, and you just like pretended to hit it and just like
One of
threw.
us pretended to knock into
Yeah,
one.
this is probably like the PG
Yeah.
stuff we did because the other stuff.
Just trying to make a joke out of everything, like capture.
But you were always
Yeah.
creative. This you wanted to be like not wanted to be, but you were the center of attention. People were just drawn to
Well,
you.
that was how I was able to, like, I did want attention. Like, I was like shy and I didn't really know how to like connect. So I was like, if I can make a video and make people laugh, I'll get that
Oh, that's sweet.
satisfaction.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So that's all I did.
Yeah, your sister, I didn't even know she was from here. I remember watching some interview that she did. Because obviously the song blew up, so everyone knows the song and that's her from that. But I didn't know she was a Calgarian until she was on an interview and she said, I'm from Calgary.
Yeah.
Oh, tell us about that. And she's like, where do you like to go? And she said, the Coop on 17th Ave. That's what she had mentioned. I had
She
never
said
been
that?
there. She's like, it's a really good
I
vibe.
should make
here."
that up.
So it's on there. You can find the interview. So Because she said that, I went in there for the first time. Right
Yeah.
on 17th, just a little nice,
She was
nice
in there?
little bubby.
Were you,
No, she was
were you dressed as her as well with the?
No.
In the coop. Have you seen those memes on Instagram? Like I saw one where this guy's pole vaulting and he goes over the bar
Yeah.
and then he lets go of the pole, but it kind of stays underneath him and he lands on
Don't
it
tell
on
me
his
it's the
butt.
one. Yeah.
And somebody cuts it to the song. Ooh. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, it's so funny. I've seen them all the time.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I
How
wish-
can our audience out there find you and reach you?
Right now my website is www.chromaneer.com. That's CHROMANEER.com. I always feel like I'm not going to be able to spell it when I have to spell it.
You did it right. We're obviously going to put it in the links and descriptions.
Oh,
and
that's
everything,
amazing.
but-
Thanks for having me on. This
No,
Yeah,
thanks for
yeah,
coming.
yeah.
Exciting.
Appreciate it. Kenny, how can people find?
I don't even know what my Instagram.
It's a Kenny
I'd have to look it up, Kenny
Steeves.
Steeves. Yeah, Kenny Steeves
look at
underscore YYC Realtor, I
We'll
think.
tag it.
Yeah.
Holy,
yeah.
that's a long name.
We got to
I
blow
know,
up his
I gotta-
real estate Instagram.
Yeah, blow it up.
It's it's Kenny Steeves underscore YYC Realtor.
Yeah. I know, I might change it, but that's what it's for now.
You can shorten that off, Kenny. No,
Yeah.
just kidding. No, we'll tag him too. That's awesome.
No,
that's awesome.
thanks again for
thanks for
coming
coming.
on. It was
Of
nice to
course.
get to know you and
Yeah, you as
learn a lot
well.
more. And I
Yeah.
hope we can somehow do business in the real estate field and utilizing your skills for videography.
Yeah, I'd love to chat.
Talk about that.
Yeah.
One thing I want to mention before we end this episode is that for the first time, I don't think I told you guys this, like last week, I was out for dinner and a random person came up to me and asked me if I was one of the hosts on the YYC Real Estate Show.
Wow.
Big time.
I swear to God, I was one person, well, not even my age. I swear to God. So if you guys, I know we're not big, but if you see this and you see one of us out, say hi, because it's pretty cool. I was pretty,
Buy
I was
you a
pretty
drink
honored.
at least.
Buy you a drink. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. I would. No, I would.
Say hi to Kenny and me as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. That's another episode.
Yeah, tune in next week. I'll be anxious to see
Yeah.
what that new interest hike that happened yesterday, how it affects the numbers for the next 7 days and going forward. So we'll see what the numbers look like next week, and we'll talk more about what the changes are and keep you guys updated.
Perfect.
Excellent.